The Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni case just took a shocking twist, and the latest evidence could change everything. Could she be facing criminal charges? Is this the beginning of the end for her case? Stay tuned for all the jaw-dropping details. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Taylor Swift seems to be entangled in this mess. Is she just as guilty as Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds? Speaking of Ryan, the new evidence raises another question. Is Ryan simply defending his wife against Justin's allegations? Or is he on a personal mission to ruin Justin because there was actually a romance between Blake and Justin? You've likely heard the theory before, but now we have text messages, behind-the-scenes testimonies, and awkward interviews all pointing to one thing. Blake and Justin had something going on, and Ryan got jealous. Looking at the timeline, the theory seems even more convincing. As Blake and Justin's case unfolds, new evidence keeps emerging, and it's not looking good for Blake. Besides the receipts from Justin's lawyer, other damaging details are leaking from inside sources. People who know what really happened on the It Ends With Us set. Thanks to Candace Owens, who has taken it upon herself to uncover the truth, we now have reason to believe that Blake and Ryan plotted to take over Justin's film long before Blake even filed her lawsuit. This was all set in motion before the bombshell New York Times report that destroyed Justin Baldoni's reputation. But before we discuss why Blake might face criminal charges, we need to talk about Taylor Swift and her role in all of this. Context is everything, and Taylor seems to have been involved from the beginning. Justin claims Blake and Ryan used Taylor to manipulate him into accepting the script changes they had made. Justin was the film's writer, producer, and director. He even owned the rights to the book it was based on. Remember when Blake called herself the Great Khaleesi from Game of Thrones and referred to Ryan and Taylor as her dragons? That was part of the scheme to pressure Justin into compliance. Taylor disses Blake. Apparently, Taylor didn't appreciate being dragged into this. Exclusive, Taylor Swift distances herself from Blake. Lively's legal battle with Justin Baldoni threatens their decade-long friendship. You might think it's just gossip, but you'd be wrong. This article has Taylor's fingerprints all over it. If Taylor really is behind it, that's a big deal. Candace Owens even revealed new details that suggest Taylor is trying to wash her hands of the whole drama. The article claims Taylor felt used by Blake, saying she felt like a pet or possession. Blake's "I'm Khaleesi and I have dragons" text to Justin was an unnecessary intimidation tactic. But was Taylor really used to intimidate Justin? In that same article, it also says, Taylor shouldn't even be involved in this at all. She was only visiting Blake and Ryan with the understanding that the meeting would be over. So if Taylor wasn't meant to be part of the meeting, why didn't she just wait until it ended? Now things get really creepy. According to Candace Owens, Taylor Swift may have had a role in another article, the one that destroyed Justin Baldoni, the New York Times article. Internet detectives uncovered something shocking. See this guy saying "sleep tight" to Taylor? That's Ronan Farrow, a well-known journalist. Surprisingly, the Daily Mail had previously reported that he and Taylor are good friends. Farrow played a major role in the Me Too movement and has worked with the New York Times, the very publication that ran the hit piece on Justin. Candace Owens doesn't believe Blake and Ryan have the influence to pull strings at the New York Times. But guess who does? Yup, Taylor Swift. And here's something even more intriguing. This video of Taylor and Ronan Farrow was taken in early November 2024, just a month before the New York Times article was published. So now people are asking, did Taylor Swift work with Blake and Ryan to push the New York Times piece and ruin Justin Baldoni to steal his film? Because this next piece of evidence will really make you question Taylor's innocence. But more importantly, should Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds go to jail? The Reddit post. Somehow, this one went unnoticed. It's a Reddit post from 6 months ago, long before the New York Times article came out. And it might be the proof that Blake did something criminal. Everything mentioned in the post happened before it became public, meaning the person knew exactly what was going on. So let's break it down. The post claims Blake felt Justin made her uncomfortable on set, specifically when he allegedly told her she looked sexy in her outfit. The context is unclear, but Justin has since proven that Blake's claims were misleading. The Post also says Justin wasn't happy with the film's original cut, so he hired his own team to edit it. Blake wanted her own version, but Sony said no. That's when Blake reportedly went to Sony and threatened to take a story to the New York Times if they didn't let her make her own cut. Sony caved, and Blake got what she wanted. But then she went to the New York Times anyway. Why? This sounds like blackmail and extortion, doesn't it? The Post goes on to reveal more. Justin was banned from the Sony lot. Blake hired Taylor Swift's music video editors to work on the film, and she used a Taylor Swift song that the studio loved. But when Taylor found out the film's composer was someone she disliked, she forced Sony to fire him. And guess who ended up doing the score? The composer from Deadpool. Final twist. The theory about Blake and Justin's rumored romance makes more sense now. Candace Owens suggested that Ryan didn't want to leave Blake alone with Justin while he was filming Deadpool vs. Wolverine. The theory is that Blake and Justin got too close, and Ryan got jealous. There are texts between them that support this idea. Some believe Blake tried to destroy Justin to take over the film, while others think Ryan is the real villain, acting out of jealousy. And there are some hints that this might actually be true. For instance, certain scenes in Deadpool seem to be subtle digs at Justin Baldoni. One key example is the comment about Lady Pool just having a baby. Well, in real life, Blake Lively had just welcomed a child, and coincidentally, she had also accused Justin Baldoni of fat-shaming her. However, Justin later came forward with hard proof from their text messages, completely shutting down those claims. But here's where things get even messier. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have a history of being incredibly calculated in how they present themselves to the public. They love playing the perfect Hollywood couple. But behind the scenes, could they be orchestrating narratives to manipulate public perception? It's a question worth asking. Now, let's talk about the possibility that something more was going on. Could there have been a little spark between Blake and Justin that Ryan caught onto? Maybe Ryan saw something that made him uncomfortable and decided to shut it down in the most public way possible, by mocking Justin in his film. And if that's the case, did he take things too far? But let's not forget Taylor Swift in all of this. She's one of Blake's closest friends, and we know she's no stranger to calling people out through her music and public statements. Could she have played a role in shaping this narrative against Justin as well? And most importantly, if Blake did manipulate the situation to make Justin look bad, should her actions be considered borderline criminal? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this drama. Drop a comment below, and as always, stay tuned for more deep dives into the biggest Hollywood controversies.